Hi Pawan, welcome back to the Divine Feminine Energy channel. We're going to be looking into your siren energy, and I have been making a siren energy videos this week. So I'll link down below the video on how to seduce like a siren. If you want to know more about what siren energy is and how to embody it, you can watch that video. And I've also come out with a subliminal, which will allow you, just by listening to a 1 minute layered affirmations subliminal, it'll allow all these beautiful manifestations around stepping into your siren energy to come through even more strongly. And then we're going to look into some messages today and the extended reading of this reading. So more messages around this topic will be available on Patreon. So if you guys like this reading or you want to see more of me, you can either access this through a membership or a one-time purchase on Patreon. So Pile 1, let's see what your siren energy is. Okay, we have Aquarius, South Node in the 5th house. Aquarius South Node in the 5th house. And let's pull a little bit more. So what is Pile 1's unique siren energy? And we have the cosmic heart, devotion, potency, and make your life a moving prayer. That's very, very beautiful because we have 5th house energy, which is ruled by Leo. And then we have Aquarius, which is the opposite sign of Leo. So maybe Leo energy can be important here because Leo energy rules the heart chakra. So there can be an energy of your siren energy. So your siren energy, is this kind of like seductive, intuitive energy that you hold. And you guys can have a certain, a very open heart chakra. So people can maybe feel that in your aura already, that you have a very open heart, that you're very loving and that you're very caring, and that you are really good at attracting things towards you. So basically, I feel like you guys also have a pretty good talent of being able to attract yet detach, because Aquarius energy reminds me more of someone who is able to detach from an outcome. And this Leo energy and this open heart reminds me of someone who's very compassionate and really attracts because they vibrate in that authenticity. So maybe part of your siren energy is that you know how to kind of flow with the laws of the universe, to flow with when to detach and when to manifest by being devoted and putting in your word out into the universe. So you can maybe flow very well with the energies of manifestations. Like you might be able to intuitively feel when you need to, pull back and just be, and when you need to speak and manifest. You might be able to know about that. And with the South Node in the middle of this card, that could be even something you've done in previous lives as well. So your guides are also saying maybe in past lives you were able to look at the stars to know, okay, we need to move now, or we need to do this now. Or maybe you were already into astrology in a past life and it made you aware okay, this is when we're going to do this, or this is when we're not going to do anything. And it's almost like you have this inherent compass, very fine-tuned, that allows you to know when moves need to be made and when not to, when manifestations are, important for you to like put your word out and work with the universe, and when you need to surrender and let go. Like you sort of have a really good grip on that. And siren energy, yes, it's often this, but it's still watery. So even though it's often, we see it as this seductive energy, it's also about the push and pull in life, knowing when to, quote unquote, seduce or attract, and knowing when to distance and pull back. And it seems like there is something about that you guys are very good at. So Pile 1, what is your siren energy? We have the Queen of Swords. I like that because even though you have this strong intuitive compass, you have a very bright mind and you're very good at speaking. So in the siren energy, subliminal and videos, I also talk about the importance of the voice for a siren. So you might want to check that out. But in your reading, I feel like you have a very, very talented way of either speaking, singing, or bringing information to others. Like your mind is very sharp and your intuition is very sharp, and they seem to be moving quite beautifully together. Yes, the balance, justice, right? It's like you are a very balanced person, I would say. Like you've balanced, wait, let me put the camera a little bit like this. Yeah, you've balanced the art of intuition and the art of intellect quite well, I would say. And that adds to your, like siren energy. Maybe you guys, like the siren energy is more like the mermaid archetype. Some of you might also feel drawn to the fairy archetype because she always reminds me a bit of a fairy with the wings, or the angelic, like earth angel archetype. Because here again, I see a lot of wings. So maybe you feel like you could be, more of an earth angel, or maybe you work with your angelic team very closely, like they bring things through intuitively, but maybe also for you mentally. So maybe part of your intuition is also really like you get a lot of divine insights through your like crown chakra, through your mind, and you're able to just decipher very well what to do with the knowledge and insights that you get. So if you're into astrology or spirituality or something creative, it's almost like, yes, it comes from your heart, but you're so good at grounding that into your mind, where it's like, okay, this is my guidance. Here's where we're going to, work with this. And it's like your heart and your mind are just very, very good at cooperating with each other, because those chakras are both very open, and that makes you a very powerful manifester. What is your siren energy? I'm laughing at the Leo energy that I picked up in the beginning, and then we get the card of dramatic. These are my personality cards, and they're also available on my Etsy. If you find them interesting, you can get them on my Etsy. I love using these cards personally. We have dramatic. I'm caught up in external drama. And codependent, I seek validation from other people. And don't worry, this doesn't have to be about your, it doesn't have to directly influence your energy. This can also be indirectly. So it can also be that you may at times be caught up in other people's drama or negativity, or you see a lot of people who are very caught up in that. Because I do feel like maybe there's something externally that you guys deal with. So maybe people that are on a different vibration, And your guides are kind of giving you some compliments in this reading, that even when people are caught up in drama and maybe it's projected onto you at times, that you still have a very level-headed energy to you, that you're still able to be either diplomatic or you're able to talk with people, even if you don't feel like you're intellectually always on the same level as they are. You still keep your words and your heart relatively open and fair. You're a very fair person with justice. So that your siren energy, we're looking into a little bit of that, what's seductive and intuitive and otherworldly about you. But your guides are also using this as a reading to compliment you on some of your qualities, where they're telling you like you're a very fair person. You always try to treat people with honesty and fairness and with the kindness of your own heart, even if, you know, sometimes, if I'm honest with you, maybe you can be a bit too kind, like not all of the times is well deserved, but it's like the goodness of who you are. And with the codependent energy, again, like maybe a lot of people seek validation from you. So this is interesting that our guides are just telling us certain messages today. So they also make you want to be aware of that. Like, people look at you as a voice of reason, as a voice of insight, as someone who's incredibly intelligent. So your siren energy, your impact on people, is almost that they take you as their guide. Like, they almost take you as like, Pile 1 knows the way, Pile 1 knows left from right, and Pile 1 always has something valuable to say, and people respect your voice and respect your opinions and respect your maturity to deal with situations that, yeah, you may not even necessarily always feel like they're your type of drama, but you still tend to help people. And maybe these people are like friends, or even if you date someone, they will respect you a lot because they value your opinion, because this opinion comes not just from your mind. It's like this aligned energy of your heart and your mind coming together. All right. So, Pile 1. That's what I have for you in this part of the reading. We're going to extend the reading a bit on Patreon, and we're going to look a little bit further into what is so alluring about you. You know, siren energy is super alluring. So we're going to look into what is so alluring about you on Patreon a little bit more. So if you want to check that out, please do. But for now, I'm wishing you guys a lovely day. Okay. Hi, Pile 2. Welcome to the Divine Feminine Energy channel. We're looking into your siren energy, and siren energy is the theme of this week. And I made a video on how to seduce like a siren and be super alluring, because that's ultimately what the siren is. So if you want to know more about siren energy, please check out that video. You guys can learn a lot about it, and it was super fun to make. But in short, siren energy is kind of this mystical mermaid energy that allures and seduces and attract things towards her. Kind of also what makes us otherworldly and magical, you know, mystical. So it's just a very fun reading to do. And I also did a subliminal on siren energy where I'm using layered affirmations of my own voice, of my own affirmations that I created to help you guys tap even more deeply into siren energy. And you guys can just watch that and yeah, manifest even more. Manifest even more, even quicker, even more powerfully than ever before. And that rhymes. And I also going to continue pile 2 your reading on Patreon for an extended version where we're gonna look even deeper into what makes you so super alluring. All right? So pile 2, what is your siren energy? Okay. We have the 10th house with Jupiter and Gemini. So the siren energy, again, I talk about it in the video, but I'll explain it a little bit here, also has a lot to do with our voice, our speech, our actually just the way that our voice can captivate, seduce people as well. So maybe with the 10th house in Gemini, maybe you have a certain power of being able to lure people in the terms of a siren through your voice, through your messages. And that seems to be that you using your voice, you using your messages, and even you using your duality. So maybe being a bit unpredictable or being able to follow up upon many different subjects, maybe being able to understand different perspectives, different opinions. Like maybe you have a very ambiguous energy to you where it's like, you know, on the one hand, I'm a spiritual person, but also like science. Or on the one hand, I am very receptive and sweet, but I also have a knack of, you know, a competitiveness or, you know, I like something like boxing, but I also do yoga. Like you may have a certain oppositional energy within you that is very, very multidimensional and beautiful. And for a lot of you, like you can use that either your speech and like very sharp mind or multiple interest or multiple like multiple talents that you have as a career pursuit. And you could even potentially with your mind and with these different ideas make really good money is also what I'm hearing. Like, yeah, there's something in your career that you're very talented at and that people really enjoy listening to, or they just really enjoy like that duality of your energy. Wow, intelligence. The intelligence of the universe lies within you. And here we even have at the bottom of the deck, lost wisdom. How cool is that? So there's 2 cards that talk about intelligence, wisdom. So I think a lot of people respect you in your job or will in your career pursuits when you share your opinions and when you share your insights, because they feel like you are very knowledgeable, you know, very, very knowledgeable. And again, part of this knowledge is intuitive. But a lot of this knowledge is also cerebral. Like you're great at having different ways of like accumulating information, like both intuitively, mentally, spiritually, like as well. Okay, we have the 10 of Wands in reversed. Yeah, you know what? It also, I need to put something on top of this card because it's a bit of a... Wait, do I have something to put on top of the card? Let me get something real quick. The Four of Wands, I think you're also quite fun. And it's interesting because in the Siren Energy video, again, I'll link it down below, but the Siren Energy has this ability to be a bit mysterious because of also their ambiguity. So maybe people don't sometimes know what you're up to, what you're thinking, how you can bounce from idea to idea or from creative pursuit to creative pursuit. And it's like you're you're a bit hard to catch, and that makes you very mysterious to people, and difficult to figure out, but it adds to your allure, you know? And with the Four of Wands, this is a playful, mischievous energy. So people also seem to feel like you have a lot of fun in what it is that you're doing. And that fun is very, very alluring in a way as well, because it's not just like, oh, you're smart and you're spiritual. It's so you do things because you can. No, it seems like you enjoy what you're doing and you have a way of, spreading joy to others, in a very beautiful, natural way as well. All right, so let's look a little bit deeper. Yeah, you leave people confused, and that is part of your siren allure, because it's like, what are they doing, or how are they doing what they're doing? Where are they, or what? Why do they seem to figure me out? And maybe there's even a side of you that makes people feel romantically interested in you because of that, because maybe even through your work. So maybe you can seduce people with your work because they feel like you're very interesting in your work and you have a star quality in your work. Maybe you have a type of flirtatious energy where you may play with people in a bit of a innocent way, right? Like you may tell some jokes and then say something that throws them off guard. Like maybe you can flirt with your words quite well. A lot of you are quite quick on your feet, so people think that you're so interesting, an interesting person to talk to, interesting about all these ideas you have, interesting in what you do for your work, interesting in your sense of humor. You might have a very nice sense of humor, interesting in like your spiritual insights, because it's like it's not really understood that easily, but that makes it all the more interesting to people. So that's what I have for you, pile 2. We're going to look deeper into this in what people find so alluring about you. So we're going to go more deeply into this. So if you may really resonate with the reading, supporting me on Patreon would help me tremendously. Plus, you get to have more cool readings from me. So I hope to see you there. Love you guys so much. Hi pile 3, welcome back to the YouTube channel. We're going to look into your siren energy today, and I did a siren video for you guys where you can watch it if you're curious about how to be in your siren energy and what exactly it is, what it looks like. Like that video was so much fun to film, so it would mean a lot to me if you guys want to check it out. And I also made a subliminal for you guys. So these layered affirmations with my own voice will allow you to even more so tap into your siren energy. And then in today's reading, we'll look into how you already naturally embody this energy of the seductive, mermaid, intuitive, mystical, feminine energy. And we will look into the extended reading on Patreon into what makes you so alluring. So that's another quality of the siren. So you can look that up if you want. The links will be in my description box. So pile 3, what is their siren energy? Ooh, we have Aries, Neptune in the 8th house. So this immediately reminds me of someone who is very intense, yet very deep. So I would not be surprised if you are the type of person who is very deeply like passionate, and even the siren can talk about a little bit of danger, a little bit of like you don't want to mess with them, but it's more subtle, you know, when we talk about like dark feminine energy. I did videos on those as well. It's more like intimidating in your face, but the siren energy is very subtle intimidation. And I do think you guys can have that energy where it's like you're very hidden in a way, like your ability to cuss someone out or to you know, really transform someone or put them in their place. Like it feels like it's a bit hidden for you. Like you don't just do that out, like people don't always see it coming with the 8th house, but you're very intense and you can be very assertive if you have to. And that adds to that siren energy of like, don't get too comfortable around me, you know. Unless you're going to treat me very well, then sure, get comfortable, but don't get too comfortable with treating me a certain way, because I can switch up on you if I have to. That's what that energy kind of feels like to me with Neptune, because Neptune is very dreamy and even a little bit hard to read. So people may look at you one way, like you're dreamy, you're soft, you're feminine, but then you have Aries and the 8th house, and that's really a combination of someone who is a powerhouse and not to be messed with. So that's something very, very siren-like, very siren-like. Yeah. Also think you guys are natural leaders. You're very much of a leader. You don't let people, maybe people don't notice that about you. They may look at you and think with this Neptune energy that you're surrendering, or even for some people, they may be like, oh, maybe you're a follower because you're more sweet or whatever, but you're naturally someone who is a leader. And you are very independent and very strong, but you don't have to necessarily sell that to people. You know, it's something people come to know about you if they have the blessing of becoming a little bit closer to you. And you're also incredibly energetically aware and sensitive with this. You guys can be starseeds. So people may underestimate, honestly, like your psychic powers, your mystical powers. And that's part of your siren energy, that you're incredibly aware of energy and can read almost everyone and everything that your energy touches, so to say. So we have the Hierophant. Yeah, you guys, it's so funny because I'm kind of getting this image of people may think they can play you, but all this time you are in control. You are at hand. So maybe you know how to really operate from your siren energy quite well, in a sense of like, with the Ace of Wands, like I know how to attract people to me in this subtle way of like, I don't have to go rush towards someone and say the most to attract them, but just by me playing with my energy awareness, I know how to attract people, and I know how to be a leader without having to be overly dominant or overly like loud with that. So it's almost like you're a leader, you attract, you put things into place, but from a more silent energy, from where people don't always get that or see that or understand that. It's almost like he thinks that he is like the person who leads because there are two women at his hand, but in reality, maybe these women placed themselves there because they knew that if I'm here now, then this person will do whatever and I can get the throne. I heard something like that, and it's not from necessarily a malicious energy, don't get me wrong, but it's almost like you just know how to play the energy around you. And I do feel like it comes from a good place, but you just know what to do. So you may have this very intuitive style of seduction, which is exactly what the siren energy is, of like, I can sense if someone finds me attractive, and I may look at them, but I'll let them be in their masculine. Like, I'm not gonna take on every role, but I was wildly aware of everything the whole time. And actually, I was leading in an intuitive sense, but it makes people feel like they took the lead, like they did it, while in reality, in the spiritual, in the intuitive realm, you were already leading, you were already making things happen. And that's something people don't grasp about you, but that's siren-like. That's incredibly siren-like, because there is a innocence to the, maybe, to the physicality, or this a bit of that, like, yeah, I think she's like this, or I think this and that. And in reality, there's a depth, a power, a leader energy that people cannot grasp. Because it's so intuitive and deep. So pile 3. Yeah, even with the player, like, you're not a player, but you can play the energy. And you know that if you want to, you can play the energy, And you seem to have this energy in a romantic, seductive side as well, where it's like, yeah, if I find someone attractive, instead of like being overly masculine, I'll hide a little bit in my intuition, in my femininity, and look at what the energy is doing. Look how I can flow with the energy and kind of come from that way of seducing, of that way of, getting what and who I want, which is super powerful. So that's what I have for you, pile 3. I will be continuing this reading on Patreon and talk even more about your allure. But for now, this is what you guys, are getting in terms of messages on YouTube. So if you want to support me on Patreon or watch the Siren videos, that would mean a lot to me. And I love you guys and see you next time. Bye.